I had a revelation. In this revelation, I saw people celebrating, and I saw how corrupt they were, the kind of things they wear, the places they go. In fact, they were living a carefree life. And I saw a man standing preaching to the people. And guess what? They refused to listen to what the man was telling them. They were just passing somewhere, even making mockery of him. No one listened to him. He was just preaching as if he was talking to himself. They were just going about with what they were doing, some even kissing in front of him. In fact, doing many kinds of things that are supposed to be an abomination. And then, in the process, suddenly, the whole place started getting dark. Suddenly, I started seeing people running, and a very heavy wind from the north started blowing towards the south, and people were running helter-skelter. And when I looked at it, I saw a demon at the north. The place was like a desert place. This demon was so tall, it was huge. The tallest tree was like to his waist. It was very tall, and he had two other demons at the both sides of him. And he was laughing. He said, finally he has deceived the world till his time has come. Now, he wants to deal with them the way he wants to deal with them. And he started laughing, and I looked, and I saw people, even with children, they were running. People who were, people who were marrying, people who were living a carefree life. To them, they had peace, and they were, jubilating. They started running. Some were running into houses, but the wind would blow the house away. They were running for their lives. I saw how fearsome it was. In fact, people were running. They looked for every means to hide, but everywhere they wanted to go and hide, they were unable to hide. They were running. People, sometimes their children would be blown away from them, and I saw the way people were crying, running, shouting. Some were even shouting, Lord, help us. But in the process, as they were running, shouting, that was how I came up. So as I was meditating on this revelation, God gave me the scriptures. In 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 to 5. Remember that there will be difficult times in the last days. People will be selfish, greedy, boastful, and conceited. They will be insulting, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, and irreligious. They will be unkind, merciless, slanderous, violent, and fierce. They will hate the good. They will be treacherous, reckless, and swollen with pride. They will love pleasure rather than God. They would hold to the outward form of our religion, but reject its real power. Keep away from such people. And in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3 to 4, for a time is coming when people will no longer listen to sound and wholesome teaching. They will follow their own desires and will look for teachers who will tell them what their itching ears want to hear. They will reject the truth and chase after myth. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 12, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. In Matthew, same chapter 24, verse 37 to 39, when the Son of Man returns, it will be like it was in Noah's days. In those days before the flood, the people were enjoying banqueting and parties and weddings right up to the time Noah entered his boat. People didn't realize what was going to happen until the flood came and swept them all away. That is the way it will be when the Son of Man comes. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2 to 3, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. As I was in a deep thought, I saw and realized that the first part of the revelation is what is happening today. I was really scared. I said, God, help us. And as I was thinking about it, He gave me these scriptures also. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 10 to 22. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord and for the glory of His majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down. and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low, and upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures. And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low. And the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols he shall utterly abolish. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver, and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the cleft of the rocks, and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. Cease ye from man whose breath is in his nostril, for wherein is he to be accounted of? Then it said in Amos chapter 9, verse 1 to 3, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, Smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Daniel chapter 10, verse 14. Now I am come to make thee understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days, for yet the vision is for many days. Revelation chapter 9, verse 1 to 6. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpion of the earth hath power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their head. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion, when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. Brothers and sisters, are we waiting for that time? Are we waiting for that terrible day when God's judgment will fall upon earth, the planet earth, and upon the people? Are we waiting for that day? Why will that terrible day, the day of God's judgment, God's wrath, fall upon man? Why? Isaiah chapter 66, verse 4. I also will choose their dissolutions, and will bring their fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. In chapter 65, verse 12, it said, Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. In Proverbs chapter 1, verse 24 to 33. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as dissolution, and your destruction cometh as a wild wind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge, and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quit from fear of evil. So this is a time for us to make amends. God is calling you now, just like the man who was preaching and people refused to listen. Let us listen and take warning, so that when that pending judgment of God will come upon man, we will escape that judgment